Yes.
Let's turn this around to the good news of the millennium. First of all, you've got the people that are in human bodies on the earth that are believers that made it finally through the end of the tribulation, okay? The Jews that believed in Jesus, that he rescued, they're part of it. There are probably other Christians around the world that somehow made it through. So they come into this kingdom, the millennial kingdom, and the bride of Christ comes riding with Christ when he comes back to earth. So the bride of Christ, who have changed bodies, immortal bodies, imperishable bodies, not human bodies, they also are a part of this crowd. Now, how does this all work out?
Well, I think it comes out, John, in that 4th verse of the chapter that says, I saw thrones, and they that sat on them, judgment was committed to them. Jesus said to his disciples that they would judge people in this time of the millennial kingdom, and they lived and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years, etc. So you have two things going on. You have believers who went up in the rapture in a glorified body. They're coming back to reign and rule with Christ. You also have people who were saved out of the great tribulation, according to chapter 7, who are in natural bodies and are serving the Lord throughout this period of time. And they presumably are the people who are also having children and families for the generations of that 1,000 years, because the big shock, the big surprise in the book of Revelation is at the end of the 1,000 years, Satan is loosed and goes about to deceive those nations, not the raptured people, but those people that have survived on into the millennial kingdom. Some of them will rebel at the time of the end of the millennium.
What's God's purpose for that?
I think it's to test the hearts of human beings, to show the depravity of the human heart, to also show the grace of God, that God has done everything he can to give them a perfect environment in which to live. But the environment alone doesn't save you. It doesn't change you. Even seeing the miracles of God won't in itself change you. A lot of people saw Jesus' miracles and still did not believe in him. The Spirit of God has to change you. He has to redeem you. He has to convert you and save you. He has to transform your inner being by his power. And I think that's what the message of the millennium is all about. God will fulfill his promises to Israel, a literal kingdom on earth, but that literal kingdom is still a human kingdom that is going to come to an end when Jesus finally delivers the kingdom to the Father for all eternity, and you're merged then into the eternal kingdom in the closing chapters of the book of Revelation.
Ed, a lot of people have never heard this, and they've really never taken Jesus seriously, okay? If God has spoken to them through this program, they don't want to be in hell forever. They would love to be in that millennial kingdom. They would love to go into eternity future, or new heavens, new earth. We're going to talk about that next week. How can they come into a relationship personally with Jesus Christ if they have not done that, don't know how to do it? Advise them how to do it.
By receiving the King. That's how you do it. You don't have to join a particular church or group or give or do anything. You respond to the grace of God by faith to say, I really do believe Jesus is who he said he was, that he can do what he said he can do, that he died for my sins in my place, that he rose from the dead for me and is willing to give me the gift of eternal life. And I receive that by faith. I pledge my heart and life and soul to him forever, and I trust him and trust what he did on the cross, that's enough. That when Jesus said from the cross, it is finished, paid in full, he paid it in full for me. I personalize that faith by believing in that, by trusting in him, and by receiving the gift of eternal life.